So you just bought yourself a new truck, SUV, or vehicle. Whether it's brand new or just new to you, you usually just want to keep it nice. These are pretty nice seats here on our F-250, and it's a relatively new truck. We do use it for work a lot of the time, so we're probably not going to be super clean all the time when we get into these seats. So we want to go ahead and take the extra precaution just to protect our investment. We have a couple seat covers here today that are going to do exactly that. And they're going to be more durable for the more work type vehicles that you may have. Whether it's just protecting new pretty seats or just covering up some of those tears that you may have after years and years of using it and working with your vehicle. Well, today we're going to basically just go over putting them on, some of the features, just to show you guys what you guys could do to protect your investment. So some of you guys were wondering how durable this material is going to be. If you're familiar with the Carhartt brand, that is how durable it's going to be. It's going to be the same fabric by Carhartt and Covercraft. So these are going to be able to hold up against some of those spills as well, whatever really you throw at it. They call it the DWR. Basically what that's going to be, it's durable water repellency. So it's going to just prevent those stains from immediately going to your seats. And it is the Carhartt feel to it, so you're not going to get that sticky feeling with some of those vinyl covers that you may get, or even just whenever it's a hot day and you sit in your leather seats without the covers, you are going to get a little sticky feeling. So that's something I don't like, and this is going to prevent that. It will hold up basically at anything you're going to throw at it. If you're on the construction site, you have a couple tools in your pockets and you kind of slide out constantly, it's going to be able to withhold all of that. And also with all these seams here, all of our main seams are going to have a triple stitch going through them, and that's going to prevent any of these seams just coming apart. And all the elastic, like on our head cover here, is going to be stitched on as well, and it's going to be pretty strong actually. It's going to suck up to the shape of your seat headrest or just your seat in general. Definitely impressed. And also it does have a pocket in the back that's going to help keep everything organized. Some of them don't come with that, and that's a big plus with me. So if you do have a spill on the seat covers or they just get dirty over time, literally just plop them off, throw them in the washer and dryer, they'll be totally fine. It's going to be super easy to clean and also super easy to install. So let's just go ahead and show you guys how. Alright, so the first thing we're going to need to do is take that headrest off of the seat. It might be a little bit different for you. We're using a truck, whatever you have, we need to take this off first. I noticed I'm not going to be able to take it off with the seat upright like this because it will hit the ceiling, so I'm going to lean it back a little bit and remove it from the back door. So you're probably going to have a tab or two on these studs here, and you basically just put those in and slide it out. Now we can grab our cover. First we just kind of want to lay it out, make sure they're not inside out or anything. We are going to have a Carhartt symbol on the front and our pockets on the back. And we are going to have these two holes, and that's going to indicate where the top is going to go. So with the holes on top and the pocket facing backwards, I'm just going to shimmy it over the seat. Be sure to rotate it properly, and it wouldn't be a bad idea to check and make sure that the holes are lining up right. Pull it down real tight. We do have a little cover that goes over our headrest too, so I'm just going to do that and then put this down just so it kind of holds it into place while I fasten everything else down. So we can put this on our headrest before or after we put it back in the holes. It might be a little hard to do it on your own because it is pretty tight, so I'm actually going to go ahead and slide that in first. Pressing those tabs if you have them. I'm going to push it all the way down. Perfect. And there isn't any labels or emblems on here. There's a little crease on the back end, so I'm actually going to put the creaseless side facing forward just so I don't feel it on my head. Again, really tight fit. Kind of like twist it as you pull down on it. It'll kind of seat itself into place. And it does have a elastic band on the bottom. Yeah, it fits really well actually. Extremely tight, but actually looks as if it doesn't really have a cover on it. So next step, underneath our cover, we're gonna have a little string here, and this is like the crease, what's gonna fit in here. So I'm actually gonna fish that under and actually go underneath our seat. And then once we put this section down around our seat, we're gonna take that strap and put it in here and then plug it in. It's basically just gonna help mold it to the actual seat, just so it's not a floppy little cover. So let's see how that plays out. I'm gonna tuck it underneath the headrest and feed this through. So you are gonna have to go underneath this wold section on this truck specifically. It might be a little bit different. As you can see, pull that through. Once you get most of it, you can just slide that underneath your seat to the front, trying to avoid any wires, just so we're not cranking down on those and maybe break a connection loose. So before we put the bottom section into place, what we want to do is take these little foam circle guys in here, and basically we're going to put that in the crease. So make sure you fold them down like that so they go in the right spot, and you'll feel if they're in the right spot. And there are going to be some on the side too. So once we do that, grab that string, and as I pull it, you'll be able to see how it's tucking that into that crease. So once we do that, you can go ahead, kind of stretch this out and just wrap it around. Kind of just work it into place. And you can go ahead and give that rope a little bit more of a tug underneath. And it is a pretty tight fit, so I would suggest just taking this section off and looping it through. Actually, it fits pretty well. I'm giving it a pretty good tug. There is a little bit of slack. You can go ahead and kind of pull that tight. And last thing you really need to do, we have some hook and loops on both sides. And that's just going to stick to our little carpeted area on our seats. And that's basically all there is to it. So you guys can go ahead and repeat that same exact process for the passenger side. Pretty simple install. It didn't take me too long to get it all into place. I didn't really have to wrestle with it to get it on. The headrest covers are pretty tight, but that was actually the fitment I was looking for. There's not a whole lot of excess here. It's really hard to really get the cover away from the actual headrest, and that was really what I was looking for the whole entire seat cover. The actual seat cover itself, though, not necessarily near as tight. We have a little bit of play. It's kind of just saggy on the sides here. I don't necessarily mind it just because it's going to get the job done. This is a pretty sturdy seat cover, so it's going to protect your new pretty seats or just cover up those older ripped up seats that you may have. So I would definitely recommend these seat covers just because they're made of a pretty durable material. And honestly, I would suggest grabbing it for the back seat too, just because, as you can see here, we have 2 car seats. And if you guys have gone through this, when you have car seats in the car for a long time through summers where it's just baking in the heat, you're gonna get these wrinkle marks on your leather seats. And this is a newer truck and we want to keep it nice, and might as well just make it all look uniform. And it's gonna be a pretty simple install too. So might as well just go ahead and grab another one so you can protect your investment. So there are a bunch of different colors and configurations that you can buy here at etrailer.com. Whatever car you have, put it in the fit guide, grab the color you want, and check out. Should be ready to go. Well, everyone, that's going to do it for a look at the Covercraft Carhartt seat covers.